So, ex-Sony CEO of Europe, Chris Deering, did an interview recently, and he talked about video game layoffs, which is kind of a big thing right now. A lot of people getting laid off in the industry. 2024 has been the biggest so far in a long time, and it's probably going to get worse before the year ends. And he talks to this guy about it, and I'm going to play you what he actually says. But he's basically saying, look, take a year off, go do something else, and keep your hope up. Eventually, this is going to turn around. I really don't think that that's that big of a deal. He's saying, stay hopeful. But because he said, go drive an Uber, as an example, for something to do for cash for a year or so, people are literally calling for his head, and I'm not kidding. You can check some of the comments on posts of this. Like, here's one right here. My perfect console, Chris Deering, former president, SCEE. And when you look at the comments on here, there's people posting guillotines. Maybe not on this one. Over on the Eurogamer post. These still aren't good. I'll read some of them in a minute. But here's somebody posting a guillotine with an anime face. Somebody posting this picture. This guy posts Peter from Family Guy loading a shotgun. Here's another one. Like, all he did was suggest a job. Is it kind of tone deaf? I mean, you could maybe make that argument, but I don't think that he did anything wrong. If you need a job, you got to do something to make some cash. He's saying that he's optimistic that things will turn around. So here's what he actually said. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play this clip. This is from Simon Parkin, and he posted this. This is what most people are using. By the way, look at all this coverage on this. The gamer, of course, has an unhinged response too. But here's what was actually said. So it's 53 seconds long. He's kind of nervous when he's saying this because I think he's realizing, unless he normally talks like this, but I think he's realizing that he's going to get some heat for this.
I don't think it's fair to say that the resulting layoffs have been greed. I always tried to minimize the speed with which we added staff because I always knew there would be a cycle, and I didn't want to end up having the same problems that Sony did, electronics. So we never really, now of course there was just recently a big layoff of Sony Studios in London.
Yep.
But that whole studio setup has been run out of Amsterdam now for a few years, and I don't know if the money isn't coming in from the consumers. And on the last game, it's going to be hard to justify spending the money for the next game. I think it's probably very painful for the managers, but I don't think that having skill in this area is going to be a lifetime, of poverty or limitation. It's still where the action is, and it's like the pandemic. But now you're going to have to figure out how to get through it. Drive an Uber or whatever. Go off to the beach, find a cheap place to live, and go to the beach for a year. But keep up with your news. And keep up with it, because once you get off the train, it's much harder. But I'm optimistic about the future for even people that have just recently been laid off, and these things do recover sometimes a lot faster than you might think when all is very, precarious. I presume a lot of people were paid some kind of a decent severance package, and by the time that runs out, that's slow.
So that's it. That's what he said. I really don't think that he should have his head taken for saying that, because he's saying that, listen, it sucks right now. It's going to be hard, but it's not going to last. And eventually this industry will rebound, which it will. It will rebound in time. The video game industry isn't going anywhere. It's, in a way, it really is recession-proof, as people have said before, because people want entertainment. And entertainment is still going to be something that people are going to want to consume. So things will eventually turn around for the gaming industry. He's basically saying stay involved, keep up on things, but, you know, life has to go on. So, yeah, you're probably going to have to go drive an Uber or something. It's not going to be forever. But apparently he needs to now be ended in Minecraft for this, which is ridiculous and shows you how unhinged a lot of these people
I don't think
always are and always have been. But, you know, could you blame corporate greed for some of this stuff? I mean, corporations want to make money. They're not going to keep a bunch of staff for products that aren't selling. I mean, there's demand. There's high demand at times, like there was in 2020, because everybody was stuck at home. That's over now. And you also throw in the mix that a lot of these games are broken. And yeah, I could blame. You can blame corporate greed on that, like releasing Star Wars Outlaws broken as hell and letting customers be beta testers. You can chalk that up to corporate greed, but as far as demand and stuff, like even if these games weren't broken, I think that we would still be on a downward trend right now because of what's going on in the economy and everything. But eventually these things will turn around and things will get better again and these people will find new jobs. In the meantime, you got to do something. And when he says that's life, he's right. A lot of these people have never been given bad news before. A lot of spoiled people, narcissism, ego. I think that's something that's been really, bad in our society right now. And there's lots of reasons for that. Social media, so on and so on. But people get told something straight, like he's telling them, and they freak out. Does he really deserve to be told his head needs to be removed because of what he said there? He said basically just life goes on. You got to do what you got to do. Just stay up to date. Make sure you're still a good prospect for studios to hire, and you'll be okay. But people are calling him a sicko. He's a piece of shit. The 1% deserves no sympathy. It's like, come on, man. Really? This is like unhinged behavior, people. I really don't think what he said was that bad. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.